While Chevrolet, Ford, and Mopar were locked in a race for dragstrip dominance, one unusual V8 engine quietly carved its own path to longevity. Introduced in 1971, just as the golden age of muscle cars was beginning to fade, the AMC 401 cubic inch V8 seemed destined to be just another brief entry in automotive history. Instead, it evolved into something far more remarkable. This power plant not only survived the muscle car decline, but reinvented itself as a trusted workhorse for police fleets, off-road vehicles, and heavy-duty applications. It became proof that sometimes the most fascinating engines aren't the ones bathed in constant spotlight. From its first appearance, the AMC 401 stood out. It was based on AMC's tall deck block design, boasting a 4.165-inch bore and 3.68-inch stroke, figures that placed it firmly in big block territory despite its relatively compact external dimensions. AMC engineered it for durability and strength, equipping early versions with forged crankshafts and connecting rods capable of handling significant stress. Unlike many competitors, AMC never released a two-barrel carburetor version. Every 401 left the factory with at least a four-barrel setup, and in some cases, performance induction systems that could make even modern tuners take notice. At its peak, the engine delivered around 330 to 335 gross horsepower and up to 435 pound-feet of torque, matching or even rivaling engines with considerably more displacement, such as Pontiac's 455 HO. Initially, the 401 powered AMC's muscle cars, most notably the second-generation Javelin, which debuted in 1971. In AMX trim, it was a serious rival to the Mustang Boss 302, Camaro Z28, and Plymouth Cuda, running 0 to 60 miles per hour in the low 7-second range and quarter miles in the mid-14ths. Impressive, considering tightening emissions rules were choking performance elsewhere. It also appeared in the AMC Hornet, creating one of the most unexpected sleepers of the decade, and in the Ambassador, a large sedan that blended muscle car performance with everyday usability. Law enforcement quickly noticed the Ambassador's combination of size, power, and toughness, making it a popular choice among police agencies. As the 1970s progressed, environmental regulations and rising insurance costs pushed most manufacturers to abandon their high-performance engines. AMC took a different route, detuning the 401 with lower compression, milder cam profiles, and emissions equipment, but retaining its core strength. This adaptability caught the attention of police departments, which valued the engine's ability to sustain high speeds reliably. In 1971, the Alabama State Patrol became the first to deploy pony cars, AMC Javelins with 401 V8s, as regular highway patrol units. These cars were specially built for the job, with heavy-duty cooling systems, upgraded suspensions, and pursuit-ready tuning that allowed them to run over 100 miles per hour for extended periods without failure. Following the Javelin's police success, the AMC Matador became the next law enforcement favorite. Departments such as the LAPD, Georgia State Patrol, and Alabama State Patrol adopted the 401-powered Matador, which could sprint to 60 miles per hour in 7 seconds and reach electronically limited top speeds of 125 miles per hour. Police agencies kept many of these cars in service well into the 1980s, long after civilian versions had disappeared, because of their unmatched reliability and performance. The AMC 401 also found a second life in off-road and utility vehicles. After AMC acquired Jeep in 1970, the engine became an option in full-size Wagoneers and J-Series pickup trucks starting in 1971. Its broad torque curve and low RPM pulling power made it ideal for off-road work, towing, and hauling. In 1974, the 401 became available in the Jeep Cherokee, giving the SUV muscle car-like acceleration while retaining serious trail capability. J-Series trucks likewise benefited from the extra grunt, turning them into capable workhorses for both commercial and recreational use. Remarkably, the 401's Jeep applications outlived its use in AMC cars. Civilian passenger car production ended in 1974, but the engine remained in Jeeps through 1978 for trucks and into 1979 for certain SUV models.
Its versatility extended beyond AMC's own lineup when International Harvester adopted it for use in its Travelall SUVs and Lightline pickups from 1973 to 1974. While AMC's own 401s always featured 4-barrel carbs, International detuned theirs with 2-barrel setups to prioritize fuel efficiency and emissions compliance, producing about 235 horsepower. What made the AMC 401 exceptional across so many roles was a blend of robust engineering, adaptable design, and an overbuilt foundation. Whether in a muscle car, a police cruiser, an off-road Jeep, or a heavy-duty truck, it delivered dependable performance without compromising durability. It may never have earned the household name status of its big three rivals, but the 401 proved that true greatness doesn't always come from winning drag races. It comes from standing the test of time.
The 401 was the heavyweight of AMC's second-generation V8 lineup, sharing its core design with the smaller 304 and 360 engines. This family-style engineering approach brought multiple benefits. For one, it allowed AMC to keep production costs in check despite relatively small manufacturing numbers. It also meant that design upgrades on one engine could easily be applied to the others. On top of that, it made both assembly and maintenance simpler, as many components were interchangeable across the lineup. The 401's engine block was a particularly strong piece of engineering. Its tall deck design allowed for longer connecting rods, which reduced piston side loading and contributed to extended engine life. Thick, well-supported cylinder walls made it possible to rebuild these engines multiple times, while the wedge-style combustion chambers in the cylinder heads balanced airflow efficiency with manageable compression ratios. The valve train was built for endurance, with solid lifters in high-performance versions and hydraulic lifters in everyday models. Rocker arm geometry was optimized for longevity rather than maximum lift, helping cement the 401's reliability record. AMC didn't skimp on internal parts either. Quality bearings, proper oil passages, and well-designed cooling systems came standard, even in lower output versions. Despite its durability, the 401 faced the realities of a shifting automotive market. By the mid-1970s, fuel economy and emissions compliance were overtaking raw performance as industry priorities. The 1973 oil crisis hit big displacement engines especially hard, as consumers began prioritizing gas mileage over horsepower. AMC responded with detuned versions of the 401, lowering compression, softening cam profiles, and adding restrictive exhaust systems. Horsepower fell from more than 330 in the early years to around 215 by 1975. Passenger car use of the 401 ended after 1974, with production continuing only for certain police and Jeep truck applications until its final year in 1978. While its production run lasted just 7 years, the 401 left a deep mark on AMC's reputation. It proved that even a smaller automaker could build an engine to rival the Big Three in both performance and dependability. Police forces valued its blend of speed and durability, while off-road drivers appreciated its massive torque and resilience in harsh conditions. Many of the design philosophies that made the 401 so successful, shared components, robust construction, and adaptable architecture, would carry over into later AMC and Jeep products even after Chrysler acquired the company in 1987. Today, the AMC 401 enjoys a cult following. Its strong internals make it a favorite for performance builds, capable of handling more compression, larger valves, and even forced induction with relative ease. Parts availability is better than expected thanks to its shared lineage with the 304 and 360, and many engines have survived in good condition because of their use in Jeeps and trucks. Enthusiasts also value its underdog appeal, offering serious muscle without the overexposure of more famous engines like the Chevrolet LS or Ford Coyote. From a technical standpoint, the 401 was impressive. Its 4.165-inch bore was bigger than many big blocks, paired with a 3.68-inch stroke for a total of 401 cubic inches. Early versions with 10.21 compression ratios produced up to 335 horsepower, while later emissions-friendly versions dropped to 8.25 to 1 and around 215 horsepower. Torque, however, was the real highlight, consistently topping 320 pound-feet in the mildest versions and reaching over 430 pound-feet in the most powerful.
This was achieved while keeping external dimensions no larger than many small block V8s, making it ideal where space was limited but pulling power was essential. Internally, early engines featured forged steel crankshafts and connecting rods, heavy-duty pistons with full floating pins, and heads with generous port sizes. Solid lifters were used in performance models, while hydraulic lifters in lower output versions helped maximize service life. The result was an engine that could power a muscle car, chase down a speeding vehicle, or climb a rocky trail without complaint. Ultimately, the AMC 401's story is one of versatility. Born at the tail end of the muscle car era, it adapted to changing times and thrived in roles its designers might not have imagined. It was an engine built without shortcuts, engineered to last, to perform, and to handle anything from high-speed police duty to grueling off-road work. Today, it stands as a reminder that good engineering endures long after production stops, and that some of the greatest engines in American history aren't always the ones that dominated magazine covers. They're the ones that simply refuse to quit.